Anyone hear me? Yeah? I'm going to try and use this just so I don't have to shout at lots of things. My paper is going to try and take you to another exhibition within this exhibition. It was actually an exhibition which I saw in Liverpool, which has already been mentioned earlier on by Debbie. It's an exhibition that's called 3 AM and has kind of toured to different venues. So just to start with, 3 AM is a time between times. It is a time that contains within it a multitude of possibilities. A strange hinterland where light and dark, night and day, safety and fear, stillness and movement all meet and collide in a tangle of seeming contradictions. Taking the in-between multiplicities of 3 AM as its focus, this paper will investigate ideas around the strange eeriness of this time as it has been explored by different contemporary artists. And as I mentioned, it focuses specifically on a critical analysis of the exhibition to give it its full title, 3 AM, Wonder, Paranoia and the Restless Night. This is the title of my paper, not the title of the exhibition. And it was created by Angela Kingston. As I said, originated in the Blue Coat Liverpool and has gone on to different galleries too. The works, and in it, the works are assembled a number of times as the exhibition tours, forming a process which speaks at once of the histories of their works, their making, the visitors' encounter in the moment, and the future lives of these independent objects. And the paper seeks to uncover the otherness of 3 AM, not only as a time, but also as a possible place, and as a psychological construct, and as a point of convergence for many things. So through the lens of the exhibiting artists, and through Kingston's curatorial strategies, 3 AM will be navigated as a time which is somehow outside of time, at least outside of linear time, and is instead manifested as a far more malleable and open entity, alive with possibilities, sometimes fear, sometimes sensuality, both for artists and for viewers. And so the exhibition can roughly draw these different types of space that probe the nature of 3 AM, such as the urban, rural, domestic, the space of the body and the space of the mind, which we might call imaginary space. But these are not purely designated categories, rather they're things that are starting points to traverse the exhibition. Overlaps and slippages occur not only in spatial categories, but also in my own groupings of terror, reveling and exhilaration, which are perhaps more speculative and experiential attempts to describe the time. The curator, Kingston, she makes no secret of her fascination with psychoanalysis. And she states that 3 AM is an adolescent running free, a man alone and afraid, a woman gazing at the cosmos, an unexpected company, and golden fox. The night is at once all of these things, and yet these are obviously only a tiny fragment of the night's potential. And this exhibition takes the night, it smashes it wide open, and scatters widely these fragments so that they play over and over, repeating time and space, transcending the physical gallery space, piercing its walls and penetrating the night itself. So perhaps the urban spaces of 3 AM are most disturbingly and frighteningly uncovered in a video by Jordan Bateman, and this is one of the first works that the viewer encounters. It's a video piece called Nasty Piece of Stuff, and it relays the story of a man who was raped while he walked along his road in Soho by a stranger he met. And the frames of the film they're very disconcertingly flash forward very quickly. Countless frames rush past shops, traffic interchanges, and spaces moving too quickly to comprehend, and often show endless colour streaks of neon light. Each time the narrator is the man who this experience was unfortunately had by. Each time he's silent, their screen is blank and leaving a silent void. Here one can see the potential threat and the danger of 3 AM, but perhaps not so much the time itself, but the people who might inhabit this time. And the film is so troubling because it is real. How quickly the night might turn upon us. In called Body Trail. A group of anonymous young people run through the nighttime streets of Vienna. We've heard about Vienna as well this morning. Making sculptures of themselves. Their strong, flexible bodies are stacked up in doorways, pressed together in impossibly small architectural crevices, held upside down, piled up, always in tension. Bodies begin a dialogue with the unused street furniture of the night, phone boxes, benches, street signs, and spatially occupy them. Bodies become malleable forms impressed upon by the urban nightscape of 3 a.m. and captured here on CCTV footage, hence the slight grayness of the frame, the image there. For this group, the night is a space of social adventure, fun, and creativity. It holds no threat, no danger. It belongs to them and their running, whispering bodies as they move through the night-wrapped city. Combining something of the terror of Basement's film and something of the revelry of Palmadorna's work are a number of full-length, life-size photographic portraits by Dan Tracy. In these, Tracy constructs monstrously masked characters from dirty clothing and the discarded objects collected from alleyways, graveyards, and other neglected corners of the nighttime urban landscape. Through these, he builds a cast of characters, perhaps alternate identities. These include a man pig. This is a quote from Mr. Curator. These include a man pig in malevolent velveteen, a hospital reject survivalist, and night worker alternative. Here's the man pig in malevolent velveteen. The one on the right hand side is called Dem 17, and it incorporates a soiled khaki coloured sleeping bag, disturbingly sliced open to reveal the quilted inner wadding, and a silken mask worn by the artist in the creation of a new costume, which is both reminiscent for me of a medical body bag and kind of an Egyptian sarcophagus. Tracy's works point toward the surprisingly rich artistic potential that might be found in the discarded objects of the night. Here marked by traces of revellers, the homeless, and other identifiable figures, suggesting that there might be a fine line between these other shadowy, perhaps undesirable features of the night and our own selves. The exhibition also looks at 3 a.m. from the perspective of landscape. The curator Kingston notes in the exhibition catalogue, on a clear night, there's the sensation of a lurch upwards. There's no roof on the world. Stars thousands of light years away are visible. And here she draws attention to that wonderful, terrifying experience of the night sky, its beauty combined with the ability to miniaturise the body and transform it into something else. Accordingly, this is a still from a 12-minute black and white film called Nocturne by Lucy Reynolds. And in this, she focuses her camera's eye on the unseen life of a lake within the semi-domestic landscape of a London park, exposing her film such that it captures more than the eye alone could gaze upon. She describes exhilarations of the night in the following terms: the restlessness of the water's glassy surface, the shivering and twitching of the trees, the rushing sound of the wind, disconcerting speeding up time to create a new perception of place. Here, 3 a.m. is embodied as a time and place of sensual pleasure, of freedom and distortion. One can almost feel the exhilaration of the cold wind. Reynolds transforms the sensory experience of a landscape which was once familiar into something entirely new, if slightly unreal wilderness, where nature claims back her space from us. That this transformation of landscape might occur only at night is perhaps a source of sadness. Drawn Doherty shows sequence of photographs in another highly localised case study of nature's nocturnal activities. These depict wild coyotes in the garden of her suburban Texan home, taken by a motion sensor camera. They reveal the surprising and unsettling backyard activities of these wild creatures just meters from her home as they hunt, mate and play in the space they take for their own. Technology Technology extends the artist's vision of the night in many of the works displayed in the exhibition, and here too Doherty's own corner of the world, expanding it beyond the confines of the home and out into the wilderness. Doherty's coyotes are echoed nearby in Francis Alice's well-known film The Night Watch, in which a fox prowls the opulent rooms of the National Portrait Gallery closed after dark. You might be familiar with this work, it's probably the most famous one in the exhibition, I would say. Usually a site of calm and revered cultural observation, the fox somewhat jarringly occupies a space such as the gallery, which is normally reserved for us. He transgresses the usual boundaries of his own domain, sometimes playfully, sometimes tentatively, but always alone. He moves easily through the galleries, operating within a slippage between nature and culture, interior and exterior space. Again, CCTV footage captures the actions of the fox as he explores the unfamiliar nightscape for him. And although the film is initially humorous, the fox quickly seems to be disorientated and lost. Curatorially, some of the most terrifying aspects of the night are safely locked away in the upstairs of the Blue Coat Gallery, and which feels, at least to me, like a kind of attic space. And alongside Tracy's large-scale photographs of the Demo series, which I showed you, I displayed a number of small pencil drawings by an artist called Mark Coulson, in which strange things occur in seemingly innocuous domesticity. The works feature crying eyes that look like mouths, open doorways, hallways and stairs, and other classic surrealist and psychoanalytic motifs of the uncanny. These investigate 3 a.m. as a sliding scale of fear. From a creeping sense of something being just off kilter, perhaps raising hairs on one's arm and neck, to the outright, heart-pounding, adrenaline-pumping terror of a child alone and frightened, in a place where time might appear to stand completely still. Every shadow seems to grow a face, and every noise is a threat. As William Herbert put it in 1657, to bring a slightly more historical reference to this, the night is more quiet than the day, and yet we fear in it what we do not regard by day. A mouse running, a board cracking, a dog howling, an owl scratching pushes often in a cold sweat. So the potentially macabre, sinister, and frankly terrifying nature is probably most explicitly observed in a sculpture like this by Nathan Mabry. And I think I might skip ahead a little bit because I think it's quite obvious that this is quite an impactful sculpture, and it kind of looms over the viewer as you reach the top of a stairway, kind of large, it's quite, so this kind of height, very much kind of loomed over you. So within the exhibition, there's a doubling or a near doubling of motifs, which again further evoke the sensibility of the uncanny. These 2 photographs are by Sophie Bickett, whose work you might be familiar with, and she herself is the subject of the furthest work, the work on the right there, apparently urinating on the floor as a smartly dressed businesswoman. And for me, this work triggers a reconsideration of the kind of gendered behaviours of the night as we might usually expect them to occur. And here, 3 a.m. is a territory quite literally marked by the artist. Ricky herself, though, is also the subject of someone else's work in the exhibition, by her kind of colleague, Tina Roswell, again, who you might be familiar with. And in this image, Roswell has just awoken Ricky at about 3 a.m. in the morning from the deepest depth of sleep, and subjected her to the ever-startling brightness of the canvas flashbulb. The resulting photographs that capture something of the bodily and cognitive struggles inherent to this abrupt transition from sleep to wakefulness, outside of time and outside of body, but there is also something sensual at work here too. Psychoanalysis is important for Roswell also. while foregrounding the body pain of this moment, the use of white clothing and background to frame her, imbues the sitter with a kind of ghostly quality. Her reddened eyes and red hair and warm skin tone seem to float on the surface of the photograph. A psychological disembodiment, a delirium. She gazes but does not see and is blinded. Instead, the view's attention is directed toward her face, neck, and glimpses of her hips exposed by her too short top. Like Red Bart's notes that the intermittence of skin such as this is the most highly central part of the body in psychological terms, flashing through articles of clothing. And so here, the viewer claims the sitter's nighttime body for their own, sexually consuming the subject. Rachel Kneebone's delicate, strange porcelain sculptures sexually incorporate an echo of Parmidora's work, a twisted mass of limbs, pieces of bodies in a horrific jumble. It's not always clear whether these bodies are human or animal. But regardless, they are charged with sexual energy, somehow captured in pure cream porcelain, in frenetic movement, liquid, supine, ambiguously gendered. Limbs split open and apart, grow and bleed into others, organically, infinitely reproducing themselves. This bodily revelry is a kind of violent yet exhilarating transformation between states of being and physical form. Heavy shadows recount Kneebone's finely modelled details, and the work for me recalls something of the painted figures of Rogers Bosch, a kind of capering darkness. And the works are a reminder that the act of looking is in itself highly sensual, that art invites touch and consumption. One's material engagement with sculpture is a haptic visuality as a central mode of seeing, and is of course bound up with touch, or a desire to touch. And so the exhibition, in conclusion, explores 3 AM by people cruelly wrenched from sleep and made subject by the bright blinding of Bettina Bonsfield's camera flash, and by a reimagining of the body by Danny Tracy, who makes alternate self-portraits from objects no longer wanted by others. Videos by Francis Elise, Doherty, Palmendora, and Reynolds show how the night might be claimed by more wild, feral creatures like foxes, coyotes, and young people, or by Mother Nature herself, in a kind of exhilarating, secretive, and tentative bodily exploration. And the sculptural works by Kneebone and Mabry have the twisting sensuality or childish fear that might be associated with yoga. This time of the night is therefore revealed in space, fertile with possibilities for adventure, exhilaration, revelry, and terror. Its nuanced themes resonate far further than the gallery building in which the works are held, reaching out disturbingly or deliciously into the very spaces of the mind itself. These are places we all inhabit in wakefulness and sleep, in stillness or restlessness, in safety, fear, in eager exploration or real danger, and all the overlaps and interconnected aspects of these states. 3 AM is a time and a place of endless possibility where other rules apply, where risks can be taken and adventures had, and new experiences beg to be grasped with open hands. In its relationship to time, the exhibition does not so much exist as once or even twice upon it, but instead constructs a far more indeterminate and open dialogue with it. It is repeated many times within the exhibition, and again in each new encounter with the viewer, who falls into the artwork via their gaze and is lost in time. And just to finish with a quote from Anneka, the curator: "On and on, and through, at 3 AM there's a doubt that the day will ever come. Time is looped, or repeats, or eats its own tail. The mind falters and slides, and ideas come that would not otherwise. It is for this reason," she says, "that the finite state belongs to artists. Art means the strangeness of 3 AM, and its utter loneliness too.